Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new installment of D.R.A.D. What does D.R.A.D stand for? It stands for Dramatic Responses Are Dumb. No, I'm kidding. D.R.A.D doesn't really stand for anything. It's just the name of the series. In today's installment, in this installment you are listening to, I want to talk about how I found some toys at Best Buy. Uh, I know it might sound weird that I want to talk about these toys, but here's the thing. Growing up, and I'm sure so many of you've heard this before, we didn't have as interesting of toys back then. I mean, just check this out for a second. There is an R2D2 Legos, and you've got quite a few other Star Wars Legos, which look really cool. You have a Gremlin toy or plushie. You've got an Elvira figure. There's even a Beetlejuice figure that comes in like this little custom box that's really cool. And the thing is, both Elvira and Beetlejuice look super very well detailed. And when I was growing up, we had pretty cool toys, I'll admit. There was some cool stuff. But, like, a lot of the toys we had couldn't move. The legs were stiff, the arms were stiff. Every so often, you'll find a little figure or action figure that could move. And that was kind of like the more high end toy. Like, those were the more expensive ones. The ones that could move their different limbs. The ones that can hold items, which, by the way, they couldn't really hold the items that well. I don't know if they can now, but back then they couldn't really hold the items very well. And I just remember getting frustrated with a lot of these toys because I was just like, I can't get the guy to hold the thing. But now they have these well detailed toys where I'm just kind of like, well, where was this when I was a kid? Why couldn't I get the hyper realistic looking Beetlejuice? Why couldn't I get the Gremlins little plushie? I'm not entirely complaining because I think it's really cool that we're advancing so much that even our toys are getting more and more detailed. Even the McDonald's toys are starting to get a little better and a little better. I mean, back then, we were lucky if we got like a little Hot Wheel. we were lucky if we got like a sticker. Now it's just like, hey there, everyone, would you like to get this really cool four-piece action figure that comes together to form one mega action figure? It's like, whoa, wait, really? You're actually now giving out real toys? Granted, there was a couple of McDonald's toys that were kind of cool. I once got what was it called? Tamagotchi from a McDonald's, and I also got a robot dog from McDonald's. It was a very small one, and I also got like a Hot Wheel car that changed colors. So there was, oh yeah, that's right. When Pirates of the Caribbean came out, there was like a whole bunch of Pirates of the Caribbean toys coming out as well. So there was some cool stuff. Yes. Not all of it was cool though. And same thing with the toys. There was some cool toys, yes, but not all of them were cool. In fact, I would have to say about 50% of what toys were was imagination. Like, you couldn't really move that well, but you could always imagine they can move pretty well. And I think the act of playing with toys helped boost the imagination. Now, I don't really see a lot of people buying toys for their kids anymore. I don't really hear too often of like, mommy, daddy, get me the new action figure. It's more like, give me the new phone, give me the new tablet, give me the new video games. That's more of what I hear these days. And I don't want to sound like that guy. I don't want to be like, back in my day, we got action figures that couldn't move, and we were grateful for it. I don't want to be that guy. But back in my day, back in my day, we had this thing where it was called a floppy disk, and we had to insert that into our Commodore 64, and we had to like upload it into the computer just to play the video games. And you have like 6 or 7 of these things that we have to put in sequence. So you lose one of them, well, now you can't play the game anymore. And we were grateful. We had to walk uphill and downhill to get those games. We had to fight the telephone company to get the internet because our internet bill was the same as our telephone bill. It was called dial-up, and we were grateful for it. We we played outside. These kids, they don't understand how ungrateful they are playing inside, out away from the sun. We used to get tired and we drank from the hose. It tasted like copper and pennies. We were grateful for it. You had to like let the water run for a little bit to get all the spiders out first before you took a sip. You had to like run away from the bees because your friend accidentally stepped on one and now you're all at risk. There was also a thing where, like, I know this was like such the tangent all of a sudden. There was this other thing where we used to go to, like, we would all meet up at one friend's house. And that one friend would be like, oh, come over to my place around 7 o'clock and we're going to watch Pokemon. And we would show up. I mean, of course we were. It was Pokemon. Why wouldn't we? And then there'd be a commercial for like the newest action figure, the newest Nerf gun. And we'd get so excited, like, oh my god, that's the newest thing? That's the newest toy? You don't see that as much anymore. Then again, I don't have cable, so I don't know what's on TV anymore. I don't really know anyone that has cable. The only people I know that has cable are the old people. Older than me. Old people. Like much older. Old people. They're the ones with the internet. Most of the time I hear people with like, you know, streaming services or like, oh yeah, I got the Netflix. I got the thing, the Hulu. No one's like, oh yeah, I got DirecTV. I feel that having a streaming service is just more convenient than having cable. And I'm not trying to make an excuse, you know, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, well, blah, blah, blah. But I am saying that people will always go for what's more convenient. And sure, that means we're not going to watch cable, we're going to start watching streaming TV. Sure, that also means we're not going to play with toys and we're going to play with video games because it's more convenient. It's more convenient to play video games on a TV screen than it is to use our imagination with toys. And I'm not trying to say that everyone doesn't play with toys anymore. What I'm saying is that there is a large demographic that I've been noticing who do not turn towards toys anymore and are more turning towards their electronics because it's more convenient, it's more fun. And it's kind of a shame because you have these toys that are coming out that are very well detailed, very well, like you could see that a lot of time and energy from another machine. A machine put this together, sure, but like it's very well detailed. And I think that's where a lot of my frustrations are stemming from, is that I see these toys on display and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And I just feel kind of like, wow, that sucks. That sucks. Same thing with trading cards. The only people I see using trading cards still are my demographic and possibly some Gen Z. Like I'm seeing more Gen Z coming up in age where they kind of have an appreciation for trading card games. And I'm kind of worried that some of these traditions of playing with toys and trading card games and kind of like just simply going outside to play. Like, when's the last time you went by a park and you saw it filled with people? It's been a while for me. I don't know about the rest of you. But I just really hope that the future does not end with everyone no longer playing with toys and that they're only playing video games. Like, I would like to see a happy medium between the two. Even if that means putting toys in the video games, which I think would be really cool. I think it'd be really cool to have a video game And let me know what you think of this. I think it'd be really cool to have a system that has like a camera, like an eye camera, like the PlayStation eye camera. Is that what it's called? Move camera? And it's AR, not VR. So augment reality. And so it would be facing down on the floor, and you have your toys, and your toys is what you use to interact with the game. A combination of both toys and video game. I think that would be really cool. I know that there was the Super Mario Kart where they had the camera on the cart, and I personally still want that. It was a remote control cart, and you watch it on the TV, and as you play with the remote control cart, it was like all these little boxes, like in Mario Kart, would show up, and you had to drive through the box. And everyone was like, "Oh, but they're really slow." I don't care. I think that's really cool, and personally, I want to play that. But that's kind of like my point. The combination of video games and toys. That's really cool to me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining in on this episode of D.R.A.D, and I'll catch all of you next time.